Hello and welcome to part 7 of the RazorwireReviews Bat-a-thon Returns. Welcome to the Madhouse. This is my review, my thoughts on Arkham Asylum, the 2009 game from Rocksteady. I'm reviewing it for the Xbox 360. I wish I had the PlayStation 3 version because I've played all the other games on a PlayStation, but nonetheless it is Xbox for now and it's the one that I've played, and so it's the one I'll be commenting on. And Batman Arkham Asylum kickstarted this 6-year odyssey, this 6-year 4-part, Arkham series. Of course, Arkham Knight, which just came out June of this year, or July, is the last entry in the franchise, and this was the original. And last week I told you all about Arkham Origins, both my origins with the Arkham series and the game Arkham Origins. The video didn't do. I'll leave that in. The video didn't do too well. I guess a lot of people weren't interested in hearing me flap my gums for an hour about a game that no one really likes and I really liked, so it is what it is. One person did comment though, so thank you, you know who you are. But it's there anyway, it's there for all eternity now, as long as we're all around and the internet's around. My thoughts on Arkham Origins have been chronicled, and now it's time to chronicle my thoughts on Batman Arkham Asylum. As I said in that video, when this game came out in 2009, everyone was raving about it, people I knew were loving it, saying how it was incredible, and I just never really got into it. Got it in 2011 or 2010 even, played a few hours, then stopped playing, and I recognised how great it was from the beginning, but I kept getting distracted by other things. Then by the time I'd go back to it, I'd feel like I hadn't remembered all the details from the beginning, so I'd have to start at the beginning again. I didn't want to go through 3 hours of gameplay knowing I'd already played it before. It felt like a chore, and so I just never got back into it. And it was only this year, a few months ago, that I finally said, you know what, Arkham Knight's coming out. It's time to do the original before you go anywhere near Arkham Knight, and the same thing with Arkham Origins. So I played this, I completed it, the same with Arkham Origins behind me there, and I also 100%ed this game and got every single achievement for the Xbox 360. And I'm sure if I got it for PlayStation 3 I'd get every trophy. But suffice it to say, I've been missing out. I was kicking myself when I was deep into this game because it is an absolute masterpiece. I mean, on the front here it's classics, bestseller awarded, one of the defining games of this generation, a BAFTA winner in 2010, Games Master Gold Award, Xbox World Star Player, IGN.com Editor's Choice Award, SFX Recommends, Game of the Year. They just knocked out the park with this from Rocksteady. They did an incredible job. Obviously it's a collaboration between Rocksteady, who developed the game, and then DC and Warner Brothers, and it just all came together for this year. I've got Kevin Conroy voicing Batman, who voiced Batman through the animated series in the 90s and some of the animated movies. You got Mark Hamill reprising his role as the Joker from the animated series and some other animated films as well. Many people say that Mark Hamill is the definitive Joker in terms of voice acting, and he was brought in for this game. In fact, I think Paul Dini was a writer on this. At least he was in Arkham City, and he was one of the writers for the written by Paul Dini. So I mean, this really is a Batman the Animated Series reunion of sorts, and the quality really shows through because of that. Because you got someone who's written Batman for like 20 years previously, not 20 years, but almost, I guess 15 years previously. Someone who had had a long experience writing for Batman, someone who had a long experience of being Batman and being the Joker, and the storyline is brilliant. Basically, Arkham Asylum, that's where the game takes place, on Arkham Island. Batman comes in, the opening of the game, he brings Joker to the asylum in the Batmobile, and the great opening shot where the doors open and Batman stood there with the Joker's on his knees next to him, handcuffed, and then they put Joker on the gurney, kind of like a walking thing where he's like stood upright, and they're pulling him along like Hannibal Lecter, and that's the opening of the game. The credits are rolling, but you're playing Batman and you're walking through the cutscene. It's such a great little device. I mean, they could have just had a cutscene where you just watch it and you don't interact with it, but by doing this, it puts you in it straight away, and it makes you feel like you're Batman. And then as the game progresses, that feeling just becomes more and more reinforced as you have the gadgets, as you run around, as you glide, as you creep through the night and beat up bad guys and solve mysteries and clues, and you just become the Batman in this game. It's unbelievable. The gameplay is so fluid and smooth, and the control of Batman is just so much fun, just gliding around or sliding around or running around or just doing forward rolls off of the top of buildings and things like that, and like grapple hooking to the top of buildings. All those little details just made it amazing. And after Arkham City was my first Batman Arkham game, and so going back to this, it is stripped down more than Arkham City, obviously because in Arkham City they expanded upon the gadgets, upon the gameplay, and everything like that. But this still is really, really playable. Having played the later games with like more gadgets and stuff, there's something to be said for this. It's almost the simpler approach might even be better in many ways, I think. And that's what I love about the series, is that this game is very claustrophobic. Arkham City is very open and free and epic. But this is like a small, quiet epic in a way. It's just Batman and a bunch of bad guys on an island, and he's going to take them down. And it's just, I just love it. You know, it all takes place over one night, and as soon as you get into the asylum, it turns out the Joker has kind of planned the whole thing. He gets free of his captivity, free of his handcuffs, and he takes over the island basically. And it turns out that I think a Blackgate prison riot was something that he orchestrated, and so those prisoners were transferred over to Arkham Island, and so Joker basically is running the whole island, and Batman's got to stop him. And then you run into other villains like Poison Ivy, Bane, Scarecrow, Killer Croc, and just the build up to seeing these villains and fighting them, and all those little things, just it just builds and builds and builds and gets better and better and better. I mean, the boss fights I loved with Killer Croc and Poison Ivy, even though it was quite frustrating, it was really enjoyable once you beat her. And I liked how they didn't go for like every villain. You know, and Arkham City is one of those games where you have almost every villain. I mean, you come across almost all the big ones, you know. And it's cool, and it doesn't feel too much in that game, but I like that this feels a bit more closed off. And when you're in Arkham Manor, you see kind of hints of the other villains. You see like Penguin's umbrellas, or you see Catwoman's goggles, and inside the prison facility on the island, you can notice one of the cells has been frozen over, Mr. Freeze. All those little Easter eggs and stuff is what makes the game even more enjoyable, because you feel like you can explore every inch of this game and you can find new things. There was a hidden room in Arkham Asylum for years that no one found. In Arkham Manor, it's a secret room that the warden had, and you have to kind of just blow up the wall to enter it basically, and there's no indication that there's a hidden wall there. And so it took years for people to find it, and then when you finally do find it, you realise that inside that room are the plans to Arkham City. You know, so I love that kind of the connective tissue between all the games. And as I'm playing Arkham Knight now, I just started it a few days ago, I'm seeing all the little references to the past games, which is just such a treat for a fan like me of the series. And yeah, so the story, the gameplay is incredible, top notch, and the atmosphere with the music as well, coupling with all the other elements I just talked about, just put you in the mood of just a great Batman story, period, you know. And you got Kevin Conroy doing the voice of Batman, and he just feels like he is Batman. And as Joker's taken over the island, you're walking around, you're doing stuff, you're solving puzzles, and you hear the Joker over the tannoy, the public announcement system, and he's giving kind of, again, Arkham announcements. And Mark Hamill just recorded so much dialogue for this game, and he just, again, relishes the performance of the Joker and fits him, the role fits him like a glove. And it's just great, it really is. Now, what else can I say about the game? I mean, I just feel like there's too much to kind of go into in a way, and I did 100% the game, and to do that you need to get all the Riddler trophies, which are trophies that the Riddler is hidden around the island. Also, there are Riddler riddles, I guess you could say, and whenever you enter an area, it'll say above the screen a little riddle, and so you can kind of figure it out, and if you figure it out, it'll take you to where a riddle, answer is, I guess you could say. Like, I can't remember any of them like verbatim, but one of them is about like a seesaw. And so I look around for a seesaw and I find one, and it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and if you just look at the seesaw and you scan it with your bat scanner, then it solves the riddle, that kind of thing. And sometimes there are question marks hidden in the game, and if you turn on detective mode, which is kind of like this kind of bat computer, Batman infrared kind of thing, you can see things almost like you know, when you have like a special light and you can see things you wouldn't ordinarily see with a human eye. You can see these question marks, but you have to kind of line it up with the dots, which might be somewhere else. You have to like go underneath the wall and look up, and then line them up, and then scan the question mark in and make the two pieces one kind of thing. There's all these little things you can collect. There's interview tapes around the island. You can collect them and listen to them, and I think overall there's 45 minutes to an hour's worth of interview tapes. And I'm talking about the characters in the game being kind of having their psychoanalysis on the island, which is incredible. Like, you get a whole like Joker and Harley Quinn origin story within the interview tapes you get. Victor Zsasz, you get a really creepy story from him. They have their own little self-contained, story beats and stuff within the interview tapes, and I sat down and listened to all of them. I looked at all the concept art I unlocked. I looked at all the, all the little things that you can kind of get if you dig deeper into the story. There's the Spirit of Amadeus Arkham kind of side mission where you have to scan in these stones, and then you get kind of like you get these again like audio clips, and you can finally solve the mystery at the end of the game. Well, I guess you don't have to wait to the end of the game, but towards the end of the game, when you get to a certain point, you can find out, what the mystery was, and it gets unveiled at the end once you've scanned in all the stones and scanned in the final part of that puzzle. And again, the gameplay, you got combat, fighting thugs hand on hand. Again, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, you don't even know what the game is, which is very unlikely because these are hugely popular games. But the gameplay, consists of puzzle solving, going into buildings, trying to find your way through them, ripping vent covers out and going through the vents and hiding from bad guys. And there's kind of predator rooms where you got to go up into the rafters and kind of hide and take down enemies one by one and make sure you're not seen. Or you can be seen if you want it, but it's harder to survive that way because you'll get shot. But you can kind of take guys down in so many different ways. I mean, the silent takedown possibilities are just endless in the game. And then as the games went on, those possibilities just kept growing and growing and growing to a ridiculous amount. But there's still so much you can do in this game and have so much fun taking out the bad guys in any way you see fit, really. You can customize the way you play the game. You can go in hard and fast, you can just beat everyone up and try and get away with it, or you can just really stealth it and just kind of be, the silent knight, I just love that aspect to it. And the gameplay, again, really fluid, fun, smooth, fast, and just perfect, really. I mean, they've really fine-honed this game, and there's loads of little great moments as well, and Easter eggs that you can find and things like that. But like when you get to the Batcave and you find out that Batman has set up a Batcave on Arkham Island just in case anything like this happened, just that within itself was hilarious. But then you go inside and you're walking through like this kind of platform that leads into the Batcave, and there's like a waterfall, and you walk through the waterfall, and it's just the atmosphere is incredible. It's just, I loved it. It's a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece of video game history. I absolutely love it. Everything about it. Again, kicking myself that I didn't start playing it sooner, because I really missed out. I really did. And as soon as I finished it, I just played through it all over again in hard mode to get all the other achievements I needed and to get all the Riddler trophies, things like that. And so yeah, I 100% in this game. I conquered Batman Arkham Asylum. Of course, there's the challenge rooms as well, which is where you kind of get dropped into, you access it from the main menu outside of the main story game, and you can just select a level basically, or like a room within the game that you've been in before, and you'll be plonked down in there. You have 4 rounds against an increasing array of bad guys to beat up and kind of rack up your score and rank up and get different medals. There's like 3 medals per challenge map, and you got to kind of string the combos together, as in hitting guys without getting kind of hit by them basically, and kind of just dodging them and hitting them again. And you can pick up guys and throw them either like over a railing to their doom, or you can throw them. I threw a guy through a plate glass window. It was incredible. Like, it was just like pick him up through the window, awesome. And you can throw them into other bad guys, knock them down. And then there's the Predator challenge maps as well, where you have like 3 things you need to do, like take down 2 guys at once without them seeing you, or take down a guy while you're hanging from a ledge, or use your Batarang to hit a fire extinguisher, which will set off smoke, and then jump down and take someone down while they're confused within the smoke and can't see you. Loads of little things. It's just really fun. And I had some frustrations getting through the second run of the game in hard mode. Definitely the second Bane fight was really tough, because you've got so many other guys coming in as well as Bane to deal with. So that on hard mode really took me a long time. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's a 10 out of 10, and I'm so glad that I've delved into it. And again, listen to all the bonus stuff and just gone full on with this game, and I really felt rewarded at the end. And yeah, it's one I can't wait to play again in the future once I've kind of had a bit more distance away from it. And yeah, what else can I really say about Batman Arkham Asylum that hasn't already been said as well? That's another thing. I guess one thing I would talk about is the ending. And again, there's nothing really big at the end that happens, like, oh, big spoilers. But if you don't want to know anything about the ending, then turn the video off now. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week for more of the RazorwireReviews Bat-a-thon Returns. But the ending, Joker of course takes the Titan Venom, and he turns into like a Bane version of Joker with like You know, he's got like bones sticking out of his spine, running up his back. He's got a big mohawk and stuff, and he's a big hulking monster. And that was just a bit over the top for me. I mean, I know there's Bane and there's, you know, Batman is hardly the most realistic, but I always love it when Batman is grounded in some sense of realism. Anyway, so you fight the big Titan version, the Venom version of Joker, I should say, and you beat him. And, you know, I won't go into all the finer details of what happens in the final fight, which was a lot of fun, by the way. It was a hard final fight, but it wasn't impossible, so it was a lot of fun. And I love it when I can get to a boss fight at the end of a game and do it without dying, and have it be a challenge, but not be too hard that I have to keep retrying and retrying. It kind of takes me out of it a little bit, so I really, really love that. But after, you know, the fight's over, the cleanup crew comes in, you know, the police and everything. They take Joker away, and he's back to normal size. And he looked exactly like he did before the Venom, which is fine, but you know, he had a mohawk when he turned into the Venom version of the Joker, so surely his hair would be missing when he shrinks back down to normal size. But no, it was all there, full head of hair. That bugged me a little bit. His clothes were perfectly back together again, they hadn't been ripped. That was one thing that was definitely a niggle, but you know, nothing's perfect really, and this is just a 10 out of 10 for the you know, just for everything. Everything, all the elements make a great game. This has it, in my opinion. The story, the cutscenes, the gameplay, the music, the atmosphere. The Scarecrow stuff is incredible, because you get these kind of levels almost where it's kind of 2D, but it's not. Like, you can move in 3D, but it's kind of like a 2D platform, and you go around this kind of big 3D arena, avoiding this massive kind of 100-foot version of the Scarecrow. And that works. It's fantasy, it's you know, it's larger than life, but it's because you've been, you know, the Scarecrow toxin, the Scarecrow gas is making you hallucinate, so it works for me in that respect. And so you got to avoid the Scarecrow and get to the end of the level and shine the bat symbol in his face. I really like that. But probably the best parts of the game was when you're about to encounter the Scarecrow and things start changing. The first time you go into a morgue and there's 3 tables there, but there's no bodies. And I was there for a while thinking, what's going on? Okay, I guess I got to leave, there's nothing here. As you leave the room, you enter the room again, but there's 3 body bags on the 3 tables. Like, holy shit, what the hell? You go and open them up. First one, Thomas Wayne, you know, saying, Bruce, you know, like, you know, animated corpse. Open the other one, Martha Wayne, his mother. Open the third one, it's Scarecrow, and I love the Scarecrow design in this game as well. Same as the Joker. Joker looks fantastic. Harley Quinn is also a big part of the game as well. She's a lot of fun. But yeah, and then you go into this big hallucination thing. There's another moment where you're walking through Arkham Manor, back through a hallway you've already been through, and it suddenly is endless. And as you walk through, it starts raining inside the corridor, and then it starts tilting slightly, and then the walls start becoming more like a street, and then it becomes Crime Alley, and then you see Bruce's parents being killed, or you see their bodies, and then you see the young Bruce, and then suddenly you are the young Bruce, and it's just like, oh, love that. I don't know if I mentioned last time with Arkham Origins, they redid that, where you go back to the Batcave, and suddenly the Batcave turns into Crime Alley, and you see the parents' death. I thought, we've kind of been there, we've done that in Arkham Asylum, so I didn't like that about Arkham Origins. And then there was one more that was really great. Okay, this is the genius of this game, and this is probably the last thing I'll talk about now. Is when you're leaving this area, and it's near the end of the game, probably the last third of the game, and suddenly my game stopped, and it went, and then there was, like, you know, weird lines, like the game had crashed, and then it just stopped, and then the opening cutscene played again, and I lost my shit, because I thought that the game had, you know, had crashed, had bugged out, had glitched up, and it had put me back at the beginning of the game, and all my progress had been lost. I couldn't believe it. I was trying to skip through the cutscene by pressing B on the Xbox controller, and it said skip in the bottom right, but there wasn't a B button there anymore. There was a J button, as if there was a J button on the Xbox, and I was like, what? And then as you see the Batmobile in the opening cutscene, it's the Joker driving it, and you're like, okay, and then you get to Arkham Asylum, and Batman is the one on the gurney, and Joker is the one looking at him, and it's just like a big Scarecrow hallucination again. I just thought, I mean, just bravo to, you know, I don't say bravo at any point in my life, but they deserve that. They deserve a bravo. They deserve a pat on the back for that, because it was just genius, because it made me lose my shit and think I was going to lose all my progress in the game. It was so perfectly done, really sneaky, really cheeky, but it just was so fun once I realised what was going on. I just thought, that is genius. I love that. And yeah, it kind of breaks the fourth wall a little bit because you're putting in like the J button and making it look like the game's crashed, but it really did work and was a lot of fun. Anything else I can say about the game? Not really. I don't have a special edition. I got a stutter. I don't have a special edition of it or anything like that. But in the future, I'd love to get one. You know, maybe go get one of the old. I think the PS3 one's really great. You got like a prop 14-inch Batarang from the game. That would be cool to get at some point as a collector, because I have the Steelbook of Arkham City, the Steelbook of Arkham Origins, and the Collector's Edition, and the Steelbook of Arkham Knight. I'd love to have a Steelbook for Arkham Asylum. Actually, that would complete the collection. Would be really cool. But one thing I've heard is that they're thinking of making an Arkham collection for the PS4, a remastered collection. That to me would be unbelievable. One, because I'd be able to stream the games, I could play through them and record my streaming of them, which would be awesome. I'd love to do that for Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, even Arkham Origins. But I haven't heard anything official about that, so I hope they do it. You know, I'm sure they could make a bit more money from it. So why not remaster them, give them a bit, you know, give them the full 1080p treatment, I guess, and you know, boost up the graphics a bit. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Just I would love to see the remastered quote-unquote versions of Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Origins on the PS4. That would be awesome. Anyway, that is it. That's my thoughts on Arkham Asylum. I managed to do it in a third of the time that I was talking and yapping about Arkham Origins. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure there's probably some stuff I wish I'd mentioned, but I think you get the gist of it. I love the game. It was awesome. One of my favourites for sure. I even did a top 5 video games of all time on my channel a couple of weeks ago, and I put Arkham Asylum and Arkham City joint, not first, but high up on the list. I think it was 2 or 3. So a lot of love for the games. As a huge Batman fan, it just did everything for me that I could ever wish a Batman game could do. It made me feel like I was both badass as Batman, beating people up, both skilled by you know, taking them down stealthily, and both smart in being you know, the detective version of Batman, and being tough, taking down the bosses, and all the elements, just the stars aligned for this game basically. Now Arkham Knight, I just started playing, and because it's PS4 I can stream it live, so I've been streaming it the past couple of days, the past couple of nights on Twitch, so if you want to follow along with that, I'm sure I'll get to a review of that in the RazorwireReviews Bat-a-thon Returns. Don't know when. Hopefully in 2 weeks. That would be pretty good if I can finish the game by then. And then kind of round off Arkham month, so to speak. Yeah, so if you want to follow along, go to twitch.tv/RazorwireRyan. And you can see me, you can subscribe to that or follow, and then you'll get an email notifying you of when I go live, basically, because I do it kind of late at night sometimes. It's sometimes a bit random, but also you don't have to watch live. You can check it out on YouTube. I've got a gaming channel just to keep this channel a bit more free of content. Well, just not to overload it, I suppose I should say, rather. And it's called The Dipwits. The Dipwits. Yeah, long story. Actually, it's not a long story, it's a short story, but it's a stupid story, so there's no point going into it. But the Dipwits channel is where I post all my gaming playthroughs, so it goes up pretty much the day afterwards. So just, I'll leave a link to that down below. You can check it out if you want to see my Batman Arkham Knight playthrough so far. It's been a lot of fun, and the live stream is fun. You have people chatting and stuff, and I kind of, you know, have a bit of a chat. But I don't try and be one of those kind of playthrough guys who kind of tries to entertain people that much, or, you know, is constantly talking. You know, I kind of like to take the game in, especially with Arkham Knight, and take my time with it basically. So don't expect a speed run, or don't expect a constant barrage of entertainment. But I do have a bit of a laugh on there with my terrible humour that seems to only come out when I'm live streaming. And some of the stuff that happens. I mean, last night there was this big glitch in the game, and well, it wasn't that big, but it was kind of funny. And so you never know what's going to happen on the live stream. So there we go. Thank you for watching. And next week will be, again, it's Arkham month, so there'll be another Arkham video, but what will it be? It will be, if I can find it, it's up on the shelf. I'll pull it out now and give you a quick teaser. I haven't actually watched it yet, so I think this will be the first movie of the RazorwireReviews Bat-a-thon Returns. So 2 months it took to get to an actual movie review, and there's many more to come. But next week will be Batman Assault on Arkham, and I believe this is tied in with the Arkham video game series, so yeah. Can't wait to watch this, check it out, and give you my thoughts on it. I'll probably review the Blu-ray as well, have a look at some of the special features. So next week, Assault on Arkham. Thank you for watching as always, and stay tuned next time for Assault on Arkham. Same bat chime. Bat chime. Same bat chime. Really? Unbelievable. I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to leave that in because I can't be bothered to edit it out. But yeah, same bat chime. Bat chime. It's because I was going to say bat channel, and the ch came into the chime. Same bat chime. Same bat channel. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Ready? Same bat time. Well, I guess I should lead into see you next. Okay. I'll see you next week, next Monday, Bat-a-thon Returns Monday, for Assault on Arkham. You've been watching Arkham Asylum review. I'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. That was weird.